Hey folks, Mr. K here. So we've made our material test file, we put it on our handy dandy flash drive, and then we've opened it up in Adobe Illustrator. Now, traditionally we could go in here and we could check out the layers and see if everything's cool. We could also go up under our stroke settings and check our fill settings. We're gonna assume, since we've done everything in Figma, that everything's good to go. So the only step we have to do after loading up our file is to actually go ahead and make sure that stuff's not getting cut off. If you look in the top left-hand corner, one step that you actually really want to take is you want to check up in document setup and then artboards, and you want to make your artboards just a little tiny bit bigger so that your file, or at least parts of your file, don't get cut off. The way the SVGs get imported, sometimes the pieces of your file are right up to the bounds. You hit escape and then you're ready to go for printing as our next step. All we have to do at this point in time is go ahead and hit File Print or Control P. Now, there's going to be a print dialog that shows up. What I like to do, what I've set up underneath the print preset up here is a preset for laser. All you have to know is that it changes the media size to E size sheet, which is a fairly large sheet, way bigger, as you can see, than our actual laser bed dimension. And then the placement, it places everything up in that top left-hand corner. So when we look at this little preview here, it's what you see is what you get of the laser bed. So our design should be up in that corner up there. So this is the first step. After you hit print, you're gonna see something like this. You can hit the drop down that says laser. And then if I can find my cursor, what we're gonna do now is hit setup. And you are going to see some options for printers. Now, in E111, it should be pretty good to go and simple. You're looking for the Epilog that is ready when you mouse over it, and it has a kind of like heavier color. You'll see there's another one here that's kind of grayed out and it's offline. So you gotta just make sure you're on the right printer, and then you're gonna hit Preferences. Now, there are many settings that we could talk about here. There are only a couple things that you need to know. One, we have this over here. If you're just doing a raster, great, choose raster. Vector, similarly. The file that I have is combined, so I'm choosing both. And we're gonna set our raster setting right here. Now, I'm cutting on paper, so it's gonna be 100% speed, 30% power. And after we do that, because I have both cut and engrave, I'm gonna go to color mapping. Now, you'll see there are a bunch of colors here. We only need 2 of them. And if we click on color mapping, we can get going editing them. So I have red here. What I'm quickly gonna do is just hop down here and bring blue up, because we want blue to run first. Whatever's up at the top runs first. There's CMYK right here. We do not need any of them, so I'm gonna click on the bottommost and just delete them. What can happen if you leave them in there? Maybe there's a weird color in your document, and then for some reason you'll just get a random cut somewhere. You don't want that. So I'm going to hit on engrave, and for engrave, on paper, on the cardstock that we have, we want 100 speed, and if I double click in here to select everything, we actually want 4 power. I'm gonna hit enter. Whoops, and that is something that you need to know. If you hit enter at any point in time, it's not gonna work. So what you do, you go here, click on that, 100, double click on this, 4, and you would think that we could actually just go ahead and click on red and start red, but believe it or not, it's not going to save. So the way you save the laser settings for speed and power, you either type it in or drag here. I like to double click to make that edit, because otherwise it gives you a weird error. And then you hit this little 3-arrow button right here. Now again, if you want to change the order, you can go down, up. We want blue first, because engrave is going to happen after raster. And I'm going to click red here, and we want 100 speed, and if I'm not mistaken, we want 95 power. Hit the 3 buttons to save. Check again, is our raster setting okay? Do we have a combined job? Yes. And then we're good to go. So color mapping is set, hit OK. Once you have that set, we can just go ahead and hit print here. And then finally, because we set up everything earlier on this page, you can hit print again. It'll take a moment to print. As long as the laser's on, you should see something like this. So it'll tell you job 1 or 2 or 3, whichever one you're on, and it'll tell you the name of the file actually. So that is how to send your file to the laser cutter.